आपके घर आने वाला पनीर, दूध और होटल का खाना कितना सेफ है? आईएएस ऑफिसर तुकाराम मुंडे के एफडीए चार्ज लेते ही महाराष्ट्र के फूड इकोसिस्टम में भूकंप आ गया है। अनस्केड्यूल्ड रेड्स, लाख्स ऑफ केजीज ऑफ अडल्टरेटेड फूड सीज्ड और करप्ट वेंडर्स पर डायरेक्ट एफआईआर्स। आइए समझते हैं कि इस एक ऑफिसर के स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन ने पूरी फूड इंडस्ट्री को हिलाकर क्यों रख दिया है। Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are diving deep into an unprecedented, absolute earthquake in Maharashtra's food ecosystem. It's a massive, high-stakes food safety crackdown that is exposing a very dark reality hiding right inside our kitchens and favorite restaurants.
So let's circle back to that crucial question. How safe is the paneer, the milk, and the restaurant food that's actually entering your home? Because, this isn't just some theoretical concern anymore. Over the last few months, the Food and Drug Administration in Maharashtra has launched an absolute blitzkrieg. We're talking unscheduled night raids, seizing millions of rupees worth of adulterated food, and slapping non-bailable FIRs on corrupt vendors. The entire food supply chain, all the way from dairy processing hubs to beloved century-old restaurants, is in a state of absolute panic right now. But to really understand this massive systemic shakeup, we've got to look at the man leading the charge.
Section 1. Enter Is Tukaram Mundhe, the catalyst for change.
Tukaram Mundhe is a 2005 batch IAS officer who recently took charge of Maharashtra's FDA. And honestly, to understand his unyielding administrative style, you really just need to know one staggering number: 25. That is the number of times he has been transferred in his 21 years of public service. Just let that sink in for a second. The guy averages more than one transfer a year. In the world of civil service, a record like that tells a very specific story. It paints a picture of a fearless force, an officer who relentlessly clashes with entrenched corruption and political lobbies, and who simply refuses to back down or compromise on the law, no matter the personal or professional cost.
And his own words brilliantly illustrate this mindset. He flat out told the media, and I quote, "This chaltahe attitude will not work because this is playing with the lives of people." In India, there's often this kind of cultural tolerance for minor rule bending, but Mundhe, he has established a strict zero-tolerance policy. His fundamental argument is just that when it comes to food safety and public health, there's absolutely zero acceptable margin of error. If you are serving food, you are directly responsible for human lives, period.
Section 2. Exposing the fake food and the dark reality of the crackdown.
When Mundhe's team started pulling back the curtain, the reality they found was pretty grim. Just look at the scale of this. In just the initial phase, the FDA conducted over 3,000 targeted inspections across the state. They suspended 165 food business licenses and seized adulterated goods worth an estimated 55.72 crore rupees. That is the equivalent of destroying nearly 2.8 million kilograms of unsafe food stock. And they weren't just going after small street vendors. They targeted massive synthetic milk operations, major wholesale spice distributors hoarding chemically dyed products, and huge warehouses. It is a total, top-to-bottom, systemic cleanup.
And here is the thing. Nobody was immune. This is where it gets really shocking. K. Rustam & Company, a 73-year-old landmark ice cream parlor in Mumbai. Suspended. Why? Active rodent infestations and expired flavoring agents. Parsi Dairy Farm, a 110-year-old legendary institution. Suspended for fungal growth on processing walls and pest infestations. Noor Mohammadi Hotel, a literal century-old cultural icon, cited for thick grease and open windows allowing crows near the food preparation. The crucial takeaway here? Long-standing brand equity no longer gives you a free pass. You can be a beloved, iconic establishment, but under this crackdown, if your kitchen is unhygienic, you are getting shut down.
Now, let's pivot to one of the most concerning discoveries of all: analog paneer. After a year-long surveillance campaign, they found that a massive 35.4% of the market samples failed compliance. That means over a third of the paneer being tested out there was not genuine. And worse, dozens of those samples were declared completely unsafe for human consumption.
So, what exactly is the difference? Well, it's staggering. Real paneer is a simple, nutritious product made with fresh milk and milk fat. Analog paneer, on the other hand, is this highly engineered fake substitute made with cheaper vegetable oils, starches, and unauthorized chemical emulsifiers. It looks like paneer, it feels like paneer, but laboratory analysis revealed that some of these fake paneers actually contained heavy metals. Heavy metals! It is incredibly dangerous to public health, which is exactly why Maharashtra just became the very first state in India to issue a strict, blanket, one-year ban on the manufacturing and sale of all analog paneer.
Section 3. Industry and legal backlash. The systemic clash. Because as you might expect, you can't just go around shutting down century-old businesses and banning highly profitable alternative products without sparking a massive pushback. The hospitality and pharmaceutical sectors are fighting back hard. Major trade bodies, like the National Restaurant Association of India, are saying, look, we agree adulteration should be punished, but they are fiercely protesting the methods. Their main grievances? The sudden suspensions of licenses without any prior notice or a chance to correct the issues. They argue this completely violates the spirit of ease of doing business and lacks procedural fairness. They've actually escalated this by sending joint petitions directly to the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister, demanding intervention against what they see as regulatory overreach.
And of course, the legal system has stepped in as well. This brings us to a really crucial judicial intervention by the Bombay High Court. During a hearing about a suspended hotel license, the court actively censured the FDA for procedural lapses. They famously stated, "Be realistic, and we are in India." The court praised the overall focus on food safety, for sure, but they warned that regulators can't just bypass due process and immediately terminate licenses without a proper hearing, especially if it's just for minor lapses. And then, the court pointedly questioned why the FDA seemed to be selectively targeting private eateries while totally ignoring government establishments.
Okay, this is where it gets wild. It brilliantly illustrates the sheer audacity of this crackdown. Following the court's accusation of bias, the FDA didn't just back down. Nope. Instead, they marched right into the government secretariat and the Bombay High Court's very own premises to inspect their canteens. And the result? They found that 2 canteens operating inside the High Court didn't even have the required food safety licenses. So the FDA ordered them to stop operations immediately. It was this stunning, mic-drop moment that proved nobody, not even the judicial headquarters, was exempt from the rules.
Defending his actions against all this legal and industry backlash, Commissioner Mundhe was crystal clear. He stated suspensions were issued only in cases where there was a likelihood of grave danger to public health. He maintains that they aren't shutting down businesses for minor, harmless deficiencies. Those guys just get improvement notices. But when you're dealing with pest infestations, heavy metals, or toxic adulterants, immediate closure is literally the only responsible action to protect the consumer.
Section 4. Empowering Citizens with AI and the Maha FDA Grievance Portal.
Look, Maharashtra has thousands upon thousands of eateries, and the FDA simply cannot be everywhere at once. So they just launched this brand new AI-powered grievance portal, and it is a total game changer. The process is incredibly simple. Step 1, if you see unhygienic conditions or suspect fake food, you just speak your complaint into the portal in Marathi, Hindi, or English. Step 2, the AI instantly converts your speech into a formal written text complaint. Step 3, the system automatically assigns it to the exact relevant FDA officer for that jurisdiction. And Step 4, which is absolutely my favorite part, it has an auto-escalation feature, meaning if that officer ignores your complaint, the system automatically bumps it up to their boss. It builds ultimate, unavoidable accountability right into the system.
So, ensuring food safety is no longer just the government's job. It's a collective civic responsibility for all of us. If you are in Maharashtra and you encounter stale food, dirty kitchens, or suspicious products, you literally have the power in your pocket to trigger an inspection. The Maha FDA portal is live at complaints.mahafda.in, and there's a 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-800-222-365. This technology basically turns every single consumer into a frontline food safety inspector.
Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative thought. We are witnessing a historic collision right now. On one side, you have a fearless administrator utilizing surprise night raids, strict bans, and AI technology to force absolute compliance. And on the other side, a massive, highly profitable, deeply entrenched food ecosystem armed with top-tier legal teams and political influence. So what's going to happen? Will Tukaram Mundhe's zero-tolerance crackdown fundamentally and permanently elevate the hygiene and safety of the food we feed our families? Or will the established system successfully push back and just return to business as usual? It is a high-stakes battle for our health, and it's unfolding right before our eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep your eyes open, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next one.